Welcome back to Factorio and our season 2 play. So today we're trying to actually push ourselves forward. Now, obviously, I got rid of some biters and did something in the recent play, but we haven't really pushed anything more forward on our production of the blue side, really, which I need to get in. So obviously, we need to start doing that to try and I'm going to steal some of this because I need to get some of this going. So we got the assembly belts too, so we'll just do a couple of them. They're going to take a while to build. We'll do this on the blue and get the blue this side going. Then we need to decide what we need to sort of go through to be able to start finally building stuff to get us, to get us into the stage of getting in space. Because it feels as if I've done a lot of production stuff, and I'm not being able to get to any stage of doing anything else. This may be to do now. I also get in automation 3, so that's something that we're slowly building up to. I am getting the balloon, but it's immensely slow. That's probably to do with the engine situation that we haven't fully solved. But we will solve that problem as well. It's all, I mean, green and red. Red's a bit iffy jiffy. It's not that it's not going well. It's just that we need to increase probably another speed, or we might even have to increase and make even more. I don't know. That's probably what we're going to have to do anyway. As usual, it's always up in the air for me because I never fully decide something until I decide something. If you get what I mean. And that, I think, is actually a little far over, potentially. As far as I can tell. That was probably because I had another lane in there and didn't need it for this. We'll do that, we'll do that, we'll do that. Obviously, we've not needed the blue yet. So let's get blue processing. Oh, I need this sulfur, don't I? Now maybe that's the reason why. How am I going to get the sulfur in there? I'll take the sulfur from the top. Only 7 left of these. That's a bit of a downer. Let's get a few of these going. I don't want it to be too close, because obviously if I want to expand this, that's going to be the issue. That, I think, is just stopped. I'm not too sure. But obviously, I need to... these need to be ported from here. So this needs to come back up again. No, that's not going to work because I'm now going to block off me. If I do that, that still can take them and send them in here. I will have to do a couple of pipes, I think. Just like this. Oh. I've only got one left. Wish they would do them in a double and not in a single. She's more than likely going to want a pipe in a double act. I suppose on this. So that will solve that problem. Wherever now? Well, I'll run out of pipes again. Let's get this fundamentally sorted. While that's building there, I can concentrate on sending this in. So that's going to have to come up from this place here. Which now I've just decided that I'm going to cut off. I will get this enabled again by doing that. So now I've got some more of this done. I need some more straight ones, but by the time I cut this off, I should be able to. I don't know. That's probably going to have to go into 2. I don't think it'll stretch. Oh, thank you very much. No, I'll stretch it to somewhere there, and then I'll turn it, and then stretch it to here. Then I'll hopefully be able to do another one and stretch that to. Oh no, you've got to do that slightly different, haven't you? Or you've got to. It's going to be easy to do that first, and then do the pipe work from there to wherever I can do it. Which would be here. Pick that one back up again, which I think is actually here, and do that. That's otherwise you tend to use too many pipes, and you can't walk right, which is a bit of ball of contention. So that should now, yeah. So that's now in. Is this? Have I fixed this? Yes. But obviously, it's a complete blue mess. What would be nice would be to, and I've got them, is start building this. Now, I don't know how far I want to go down here. Do I want to go right the way through? I don't even know where I want to put it. So that's the problem. I have no idea. And I might be going too far with it, so. I mean, I've got so much. I mean, all of this is. We haven't even built the yellow yet. That's another one that I need to look at, I think. Is the yellow signs. Like I said, I think in the next verse, some of this absolutely, this one, the green should not be anywhere near here. It needs to be bumped down further down. And this needs to be bumped down. This needs to be bumped down. As you can tell, like I've done this and there, but it could be right the way back down here. I'll need to write out what I call like an order of things that I should. I did write down. I had a piece of paper. I don't even know where that's gone now. Of the order, but the order was what I was looking at on the other one, and I think that's what I used, and it was wrong. So that'll make this. You know, I don't, because it's got extra things that I don't really need. So anyway, what else am I wanting to build to get to the sky? To the sky. Excuse me. I don't really need that spider. Get in. That'd be quite nice to get rid of all of them. I want the. I wouldn't mind the tank, but then I've got to make all the rest of the stuff with the tank. So this would be quite nice as well. Speed weapons, but again, I'm gonna need this. So that's another thing. I think I've got everything. I think I've relatively got everything. I'm just trying to think of what actually to build to be able to do the things that we need to do. Which we haven't seemed to have. Say, I've got this to do because that needs. I know I need one of them, which means I need batteries, which means I need sulfur. Now, the sulfur's right next to. The good thing is, well, I'm saying the good thing is, but it's technically not. The sulfur is here, so we know the sulfur's coming down. and which obviously this is making the sulfur from the, and we don't really need a lot. It doesn't take a lot of sulfur to make the gas, sulfuric acid, which is what the battery needs. So it might pay. We also need this as well. So that's not going to be a hard thing because plastic's already down from there. So that's okay. We also need the battery now, and also need the rocket fuel. So that's going to have to come from further up. That's going to be a question of where the hell I'm going to make that. I think that might be something I'm going to have to make up there and then transport. I can have either the solid fuel or I can either have the light fuel. But I know one of these needs the... So we're going to need electric engines, I think, or something. There's certainly there, you see. So we can't make that until we get the electric engine. We need the engine because, well, we need the engine. We need a light lubricant as well. So that's another thing. Then we go to... We have to work... It's typical. You have to work backwards with this. It's how do I get that lubricant down there? I don't particularly want to run a pipe down there, do I? The only alternative would be to run a train down there. But we could certainly get the battery going. We could certainly get the batteries going. Which would be good. Even if I'm just storing the batteries up in a box. Or 50 boxes or something like that. It doesn't really matter. As long as we get them going. You know, this is the thing of getting things going until... so that's our next... like I said, I always leave 5 spaces, even though I've got this wrong way around. Then we can do the... I think it needs... the second one? I may be wrong. Am I wrong? Am I right? I don't know. This is actually going okay. I think what I'll do to carry on getting this to be, you know, there's no point me just sit there and not build because I'm going to need the blue anyway. That'll give me at least a couple of, at least a couple of hundred, I think. No, it needs to be. Which way do you want it to go? From there into there, there into there. Right. Is that right? I always get confused. Right. So let's just find somewhere where we can tie this in. So that'll be now tied in. It's not ideal, but it's just to get this going. Getting the blue. I'll put the blue in. Like I said, a few boxes, and then once we're ready, we can actually, and then this will obviously start making. The only disadvantage is now we can see the green's going to be running out, so that's another thing. But at least I'm making, you know, I'm actually making something, if you get what I mean, which obviously I wasn't before. So like I said before, I think the batteries need to be made in the second one. Let's just do a I don't need them fast. I don't need them like instantly there. Let's put this down. Can I make batteries in this one? I don't think I can. Because the battery's not there. It would be if I could select a recipe, you see. I can make the engines, I can make this and this, but I don't think I can make the batteries. I may be wrong. Right click pig, not left. Sometimes you play so many games, you got used to like left click and right click and any click and whatever click. I just want to start because, like I said, I'm trying to get us in the air, or me in the air. See, there we go. No, we don't go. We've got more here. I can do the engine. So how the hell do I make that? Ah, there we go. So now I can do the... oh, that's a personal battery, not a battery. So where's the battery bit then? Or is it only made in the third assembly? Oh, let's do a third as three as... No, that's not what I want to do. I've got no thing again. I'm not too sure what it needs to be made in, you see. Different ones have different things, so you can only make them in certain... I must have some more here somewhere. I mean, come on. There we go. We've got an ore train. There we go. That's enough. Right. I can make one. I'll make this. It costs me a 2. Cost me a 1 and a 2 to make this 3. But I don't actually know. See, I could obviously upgrade the green, but the problem is then I'm not making enough. I might not be making enough wires. So let's go back to the wires. Yeah, the wire assembly, which is massive, isn't getting enough ore through, which means it's not building enough here. Ah, well, there's a slight bottleneck that I've just noticed that I hadn't noticed before. Right, that's going to fix itself. That's going to be a bit faster. That's now going to be a bit faster. That'll be a bit... Well, it won't be a bit faster until I do one of them, which I can't do because I'm still doing that. Yeah, the ore is a bit... Well, obviously it'd be better if I was doing the... As I'm still building this factory, I'm upgrading this while I'm building the factory, because obviously I can't do nothing until the factory. I think I'm right. I might even be wrong. Sometimes I wish Factorio would tell you on there saying, no, you need this factory or you need this to... It's just not bringing it in fast enough. That's obviously increased the belt. How many miners have we got? I've got 2. I'm going to need to increase the mining capabilities here about 10 times over or something. So I'm going to need more. Well, I'll get a couple while I'm still waiting for this to build itself. Yeah, so I'm going to have to come back through, and I'm going to have to solve this to, in effect, quadruple the mining output of this. I suppose you could try speed, increase the speed as well. That might solve the problem. I am getting it in. There's millions of mine, there's millions of ore there. That's not the problem. It's just increasing the throughput. That's all I need to do. I've obviously got the ore. I mean, look at the ore. The ore is absolutely full. So that's not even causing a problem with that. And I've even got the speed. I've even got the speed ones on there, and they're not causing a problem. So it's definitely working on there. I have increased the yard now. As we can see, it is pushing it through faster, and it is a full belt. But also, if we look there, we really haven't got enough. I'm not producing enough of the ore to actually be able to be used. It's just barely coming here. And then obviously it's getting used. I don't know where else it's getting used actually. I'm pushing it through. I'm pushing it through. I still can't see any of these taking it down anywhere. We are using it here. So this is the problem when I said this was a silly place. If it was back there, all of this wouldn't need to be sent down. Although it probably would be a good idea to send it down. But anyway. I've got this. I think I've got the third one. That's the third. No, why is that? That's not what I selected. Let's see what this can build now. Personal battery, personal battery. Where's the blooming battery then? Well, why can't I do the battery then? Oh, it's made in a flipping chemical plant. You donkey. Sorry about that. I didn't even see that. I could see you shouting at the screen. Pigs, you idiot! It's such a plumbing chemicals. You're doing this for no reason at all. Oh well, never mind. Sorry about that. Apologies, everyone, if that's what the case was. Oh, let me run out of things again. I think in the next one, I've got to start making some. I can make up of the steel and I can make up the big furnace as well. So I'll make. I don't think I've got one. Yeah, because it would have highlighted. So let's make one of these and see what we need for the battery. That means I can then find it. I assumed it was always it. You would assumed it was. I mean, it even says. So I need one sulfur, one thing, one this. How can I get? I suppose I could run it up the side of here. I was thinking that I don't really want to. I mean, that's a practically full box thing there. Because this is this sulfuric acid from here. It would be nice to actually make it probably there. Like I said, I can run a lane. Let's just do it. We can run a second lane up to about here of copper. I'm just keeping an eye. I think I'm going to move it there because I'll probably want more blue in. I've got this, and I don't want to cut the blue off. So I'm going to have to come like over here somewhere. Where's my chemical plant? Where's it gone? Who's moved the chemical plant? Where do I... Oh, funny. I think it goes on a belt actually as well. There, so that can be there. It's pretty simple to put. If I turn this off and get rid of this, if I do this, then I do that, and then do that. Now I've got the actual. But I want to turn that and get rid of that. Turn that and get rid of that. I might as well because it produces so much sulfur. I don't really have to worry. Sulfuric acid, and even if I need to add to it, I'll finally use some of the sulfur that's half a mile up there. The only slight problem is that's probably slightly too close, if anything. Because I'm going to need to... I'm going to need to get the belt down here. I'm also going to need to... I haven't got a better I can make one. That's running the wrong way. I think it's running. It looks as if it's running the wrong way. No, it's probably the right way. It's just my eyes. There. That means this belt here will have to come round in here. I don't want to send it to there, see? So it'll come round in here. That'll come out here. Then I can get the chemical plant just one over. It's a bit, you know, it's there, but as long as it's past this sort of line. Although saying that though, I'm going to probably encroach into that line. Ah, hell, I'll leave it. I'll work it out there. Let's not, like, you know. I'm going to need power. Oh, where's... Oh, that's quite easy, though, isn't it? Right, so I've got power. I'm going to select the battery. The ore's going to go in there. But there's no copper to go in there. So we feed the copper from this line. Let's get another one. Then I'm going to feed this up. So now the copper... is that a good idea, though? Is it a good idea to... Yeah, I think it's a good idea. I'm going to do this slightly different way. Like that. The reason why is I don't want to push too much copper on this lane. It'll feed itself into this anyway, and the thing will pick it up like that, so it doesn't matter. Now we're making batteries. Batteries are good. Batteries are very good. In fact. Now we've got this weird actual thing to... Right, so another battery's going to go on the floor, but it doesn't matter. I'll just do this line. Again, I'm going to have some boxes. Boxes are good. Boxes for everything in this game. No, you know what I mean. It will just... Because I don't know what I'm doing with them, I might as well just make them. I've got tons of sulfur. The sulfur's like massive amounts. So I might as well start making... And this is better, you see. I don't want a single line. I really wanted a single line to this as well, to be honest. Which is what I should have done. Which I think I'm going to fix. Can't fix it there, though. Right, so that'll only allow a single lane up there. Because it's cheaper. It's cheaper just to send a single lane than it is. And it doesn't need all this, you see. It doesn't need all this massive amount of copper. The batteries are now churning themselves out quite nicely. I mean, we were at 16, but that's something that's built in this playthrough. So that's good. I'm still not producing enough of what I want. So let's look at the mine situation. I've got 4, but I need more copper. I've got 91, so I'm going to steal some of this copper. That's I'm going to steal a lot of copper. And now I can have more. Right, that'll do. I can probably build quite a few now. Yeah, I can build. What have I got in there? I've got 2. So that's going to give me 10. I keep an eye on this situation. I'm still not producing. You can see this copper is coming in, but it's just rapidly using up quite fast. Quite nice to sort this out, actually. I'll sort some of this out. It's not. Is that? Yeah. So that's no mining. That's no mining. That's a bit of a shambles because that's now not even in the belt outright. That's it. Now it's going to be a bit better to even that belt out. That's got the same problem, although I suppose it's going to slow down and then speed back up again. But it would be nice to have another one of them. I have got one, so let's do that. Right, let's now travel up to the copper and fix the copper problem. Or, you know, at least triple, quadruple, do whatever we're doing. How many have I got? I've got 14. I'm going to get 20. That's a hell of a lot of more copper on. So that's a 10 lane with a 10 lane. It depends on how I can get a 10 lane. That now is gone. I'll put the 10 lane. I'll put the start of the 10 lane here. Is that now? Because that's got nothing. 16. Yeah. That should allow me to get 10 here as well. Right, let's just solve this. I know that's going to upset the apple cart up there, but still. Let's yep, can't get the thing in. Right, that should have solved that. So we know how, at least I know now how much that power is going to have to be linked to this power. That's not going to do it, is it? There. So we should start to see an increase in copper come through. You see, there's the power problem. I think I need to now increase the boiler situation. Eight. And 10. Might be able to get 10 on there as well. Right, so yeah, I've not got enough. The electricity situation is now going down because obviously I'm not producing the boilers are not producing enough to be able to yeah, so the power, my electricity network is not enough to produce. Production is, but electricity is down, so I've not got enough electricity coming through to be able to. So I'm going to need to two boilers. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many pipes have I got? Don't think I've got any. Get a few pipes while I'm moving. While I'm moving, that way I can increase the yield of this. Now I have to make sure there's enough coal. There seems to be enough coal coming through. That's not a problem. So the coal situation has been relatively solved. That can come back with me. That, for some unknown reason, is not doing anything. I can't remember how many this will do. I think it's 40, I think. Something gives me the idea that I can have 40 of these before we don't have enough. Then we can connect our boilers. I like to go for a twin stack like this because I think it's relatively better. Have we got the power? Yes, we've got. No, we haven't got the power there. So I'll have power. So this will start. Now they'll start the boiler up. How am I doing with electricity then? Still not. It's going to need to get up to steam. Until it get up to steam, I don't know whether that's going to be enough. I probably should overdo it than less, I think. They are taking a little while to come up to steam. These see, it's better, but it's still dropping. Like 6 kilowatts. I don't know how much these kilowatts these produce. Right, that's full. That's full. So yeah, so I'm gonna have to what do I do? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. That's only 2. I'm gonna need another 6, I think. How many is that? Can I get? 1, 2, 3. I need some up. Hopefully that'll get me another 3. I think that's going to be enough now. How many pipes I've got? None again. And now we can start to. I should be able to now increase the power to hopefully higher. I think that's what it is. Again, I am not overly sure if this is what it is or can it not. Can these electricity not push that amount of electricity through? I don't know. Because I don't understand what the high electricity is for. Or is that just because it gives you an area, not necessarily makes any sort of difference? Right, so we'll do the 4. We're all right there. We'll push this again. And this again. I'll have to take this out. We'll extend this. to there. Like that. What was that? What's that? I have no idea what that was. But it was something, nonetheless. Right. We need to build the other two. I suppose I could... have we got the pipes? No, I ain't got the pipes. I could get the pipes in ready, because I guarantee I'm going to have more power going. Then we'll have this in, this in, this in. It's not going to do much at the moment until I get some power, so that's prepping up that. Right. I need 2, 4, 6, 8. How many have I got? If I can find them. I was losing one here. I have got 8. Get out the way, pig. Right. That should enable that to go. Good. Can't get reach. And then we'll obviously have to wait till they get up to pressure. Oh, in fact, actually, they're quite up to pressure. See, it's still not producing enough power. I just seem to think it's to do with the electric poles. And I can't see why it wouldn't be. Oh no, they're fine. So why is this then? Is this what it's taking or what it's... Oh, maybe me then. Production level is... amount of power currently being produced out of the power. See, yeah, so we need that, we're getting that. Production. Amount of power currently being produced out of the maximum possible power production. So that's it. So I think I've solved the problem. So that's good. Although I'm now don't seem to be getting enough through from the here either. That's done. Seen as the copper... Oh, look at the copper lane. There we go, see? Now the copper lane's completely and utterly full. Bon voyage. Although it's completely full, now the issue is it's so full, we're still not producing enough because we can't produce enough. It's a constant battle, this game, against what you produce compared to what you can. We'll get the 4. And I'll increase... What's this? I'll increase this to... See, it says production output. Yeah. I'm going to take that offline here, and I'm going to put it down here, like that. They all come from this debacle. How are we doing? How many have I got in stock now? Absolutely no. This is the main problem with Factorio. I love it, but it's such. It can be so frustrating. You think, solved that. No, I haven't. And then you try and solve it again. No, I haven't. You know, you have just a constant battle of. Well, I find I do, because obviously, you know, there's a lot more people that know this game way better than I ever knew it. But like I said, I do enjoy it. I think it's to do with working things out. It just suits my my brain cell. I'll just push this here. I know I could. What do we? What do we? Oh no, I'm not. I don't need to do that. Why am I doing? Why am I thinking I need to select it? I don't, because it goes off what goes in these, like that. So probably was a bit long, but it'll do. Yeah, it's slightly long. I don't need it that long. Because I don't want sort of any copper over. Oh, have I run out of? Let's get all this ready then. That can go on there. Why is that now not working? Jolly good. It's because that's probably to do with one of the main lines. Right, that's it. There we go. Pigs sold. Pigs are sold. As soon as I go down, I need to actually get one. I don't have it. I don't actually have it in there. That one will go there. So now we're burning that one. I still have no more left. So I've added another 4 on. That's going to produce a bit more, but it's still, as we can see here, I need an unbelievable amount to get this going. I also can probably increase the speed of ones as well. Which will be another thing to think about in the next plan, by building the speed modules and keeping them there to just be able to just use them and not have to build them at the same time. Right, that's going to work. That's going to work. So, right, we're... But you can tell with this how fast this does. I think it gives us about 50% increase. I've only got so many that I can actually build, so I need some more. More as usual. I think. I'll do the same with this, and this will. Oh, I can't do it like that, can I? Then do that there. That's then going to produce. It's only going to take. I think they can reach both. Yeah. So in technical sense, it only takes 50% and lets a lot more through instead of taking double the amount that I don't really need to have. I can have that. Thank you very much. I don't particularly mind the ore. The ore's perfectly fine to have. Yeah, okay. Where are you? I thought I'd already built them. Oh no, it takes forever to do them, doesn't it? Right, so that's now going to even increase again. So we're getting... we're going to close it down soon, but I think things are... I always say things are progressing, but it never feels... It never feels like... It's one of these games that you feel... 3/4 of the game, you don't get it anywhere. And then the last quarter, you do everything. You say, oh, I'm doing it. But I'm trying to increase everything to be able to do what I want to do. Right, come on, give me the next one. Oh. Right, so let's have a little recap. This is going to increase. It's got to. I've got to increase the wire, which means because I've got to increase the green. The green just needs to absolutely blitz down. Green is always I always find green the most difficult one to do. I've got enough. The wire is fine. The wires are getting built, as we can see here. I suppose I've changed that to a single one, which is already fine. We're still building our reds. I probably don't even need any more. I'm just going to leave them until I get full. That would be nice to change in a sec, just to do what we normally do and not take up all of the copper that way, because they can both get this. Which is fine. I've not put any sort of speed on them. I don't think I need to be honest. I've increased everything quite substantially. I can now add that on, which will do that. I can now add that on. Have I got no one more? Oh, I haven't got one more. Speed module 2. Speed module 2 is like unbelievably fast. It might be an idea also to... I've only got one of them though. Typical. Before we close down, even out this belt, so it's not doing what it's doing there, which should be better. I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to do come on. This thing is, but it's progressing. At least now I'm sort of semi-happy. I'm not over happy with that. Look at the ore is it's not coming in fast enough. Probably means I'm not got enough on the belt. Possible. That can now go. Right, we're now getting there. That, I think, was the last module that I've got that I want on there. Right, that's the last module. So I put in extra. It does feel now that it's sort of working. But like I said, I'm going to do this. I think I can do it from there. Or maybe I can't do it from there. Maybe I have to do it from this. Or maybe I can. I'll just do that. Then let's bring this through. Connect that. Let's bring this through and then connect that. That can go on this way. So now it's sort of evening, try to even the belt out. I think that's how you even the belt out. Although that was probably evening the belt out anyway, actually, when we look at there. It's just that it seems to be taking a lot from one side, which is obvious. But anyway, we've done a bit in this. Obviously I'm forcing the blue to be made, which is a bit of a slow process. But we've run out of all the blue here. I've decided to put it in boxes for obvious reasons, so it just keeps building. We've got about, I would say about 500 or 600. That's not a lot, but it's building, it's working. And obviously we're going to need to use that for subsequent things. The battery situation at the top is being done. Again, that will need to be eventually come down and be connected to other things, but at least I'm making it. So, I might make like all this row, and that's 1,000 in each sort of, there's a couple of thousand there that I can make before I'm sort of, worried about it, or I will be obviously making it. But I'm using the sulfur up, which is great because I'm doing something with it, because it would just mainly just sat there and not actually being used, to be honest. We just need to have more green coming in. Green is always the problem with this. And I still need to do more copper wire. The copper wire is just... It's phenomenal, the amount of copper wire you need. But I am producing the copper wire. I just can't seem to get it up there fast enough to be able to do more. The only alternative would be to... I think these are one. I think the ones. I could send them to a 2. These backline and come forward that way. Because obviously these have no space. And doing a 2 on these is pointless because they're not actually doing anything, because they're not making anything. They've made up to there, but I can't actually put them on the belt. That's the thing. That's the sole thing of how's the best to get. Or maybe you can't do it, I don't know. It's how do you get 2 of them on the belt? Like this side coming down. I don't think you can. Because that way you would get double, but I suppose in respect it just can't do it. So sometimes this section here is just doing nothing, and you're only really using the back section to do any production. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. We will definitely see you in the next one, and don't forget to check out pigsteve.com if you want to be a subscriber as well. I'd love to have you, and be a part of the crew and see what we can do in the future together. Anyway, we'll see you again. Bye for now.